A stroke is caused by an interruption to the blood supply to the brain. This can either be due to a clot or a bleed. Some of the main reasons for having a stroke can be high blood pressure, furred-up arteries, and medical problems, such as a hole in the heart or a thin wall in one of the arteries of the brain. Individuals who've experienced a stroke can have feelings of fear and helplessness.
But it's very frightening when it happens. You suddenly can do everything and then the next day you can't do a thing. Very emotional time. I found I couldn't stop crying after a while.
Unfortunately, the risk of a stroke increases if you've had a stroke or transient ischemic attack. These are sometimes referred to as a mini-stroke or temporary stroke. They are an important warning sign and should be treated as such. The appropriate response is to act fast and dial 999.
The first stroke was high blood pressure. Unfortunately, I wasn't taking my medication. My second stroke was a clot or lacuna stroke, and that happened in December 2008.
But there are things which can be done to reduce this risk. Taking charge of your life and health can be a positive and rewarding experience.
You've got to give yourself little targets to do, and one of my first targets was actually get up and go to the toilet. They're all little targets, and you don't think they're any good, but they all add up into movements. And the movements for your arm were just stacking cups and things like that, and you think, God, this is no good. But it just teaches your brain what to do, and then from the cups, you went to a cup of coffee that you could reach up and go to your mouth and things like that. It's just, but it's really amazing. Just got to think positive, and that's what it is, small goals all the time. Like my next goal is to be able to drive, and the one after that is to go on holiday.
You may feel that asking for or accepting help is not for you.
Initially one felt, well, nice to be home kind of thing. Do I really want to, go over there? Is it really going to be all that worthwhile? But we did have 2 or 3 telephone calls saying, you will come, won't you? The backup advice on the short program we had here week by week on the various talks, and then there was one on that, one on medication, and yes, one on holidays. And that was the encouraging part actually of the whole program, to find they'd obviously dealt with other people who've been through all these experiences before and could encourage you. It's that enveloping encouragement actually which was the important thing.
It's also important to ensure partners and carers get the support they need.
I don't really know that I was that keen on coming to Aspire at the time, because I thought, I've had enough of all hospitals and discussing all this. I just want to get away from it. But it was very, very good. And it was just nice to speak to people that partners had strokes, just to see how they were coping, because it is a big, big change in your life.
There are lots of opportunities to meet up and share experiences through post-stroke groups such as Aspire or stroke clubs. Talking to your doctor, health professional or others that have experienced strokes can help you decide what is right for you. Adopting a healthy lifestyle doesn't mean you have to give up everything you enjoy, with one exception. Smoking doubles your risk of having a stroke. Everyone who smokes knows it's not easy to give up. The benefits to your health have got to be worth it. In all other things, moderation is the watchword.
I like my drink. I wasn't an over-the-top drinker, I don't think, but I could say I used to go to a supermarket and buy 4 bottles of different beers. Now, it's 1 a day. Well, sorry, I can have 1, I can have 4 units. Whereas I could drink 4 units quite easily in one day. It's not. I can have 4 units a day for 5 days, and then I've got to take 2 days off. Then sometimes you work out when you want to have a drink. So after that, you have your 2 days, no drink. Once again, it's planning sometimes, you know. As long as you don't go over the top.
Many of us think we eat healthily, but what does this really mean? You should eat a varied diet from the 5 main food groups. Include at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables every day. Try steaming your vegetables to preserve those essential vitamins and minerals. To reduce saturated fats, eat fish, poultry or game as an alternative to red meat. To get your essential fats, use vegetable, seed and nut oils, and eat only oily fish such as mackerel, sardines or tuna. Fibre helps control blood fat, so try switching to wholemeal bread. Have some porridge for breakfast and brown rice with that chicken curry. Salt raises your blood pressure, so don't add salt to your food. And don't forget, a lot of processed foods contain high levels of salt, so eat these in moderation.
My goal this year is to get my weight down so that less stress on the joints. So hopefully the walking will improve then. I'm vegetarian, so I changed to that, but I think it's the portion sizes I've got to look at now.
High blood pressure is the biggest single risk factor of having a stroke. Get your blood pressure checked regularly and take the medication you're prescribed. You may also be prescribed other medication to help reduce the risk of another stroke.
But I take blood thinning, warfarin tablets, which means blood tests very regularly to check the thickness of your blood, obviously because of clots, etc. And then statins to lower your cholesterol, because cholesterol is one of the reasons people have strokes.
Having to take several different tablets may be a lot to think about, but planning and preparation can make it easier, and it is essential.
You won't have to, think it all out. As soon as you get up, you take 1 or 2 tablets, and then you have to remember which tablets you have to take without food or with food. So you have to plan accordingly. Sometimes it's difficult, but you've got to realise, you could have another stroke, like I did.
Regular physical activity helps lower blood pressure, balances blood fats, and improves your body's ability to handle insulin. Exercise doesn't have to be a chore. Choose something you enjoy: walking, gardening, even housework. Stay motivated. Find a club or gym with like-minded people.
They recommend that you actually join a gym, and you can get help. It's part funded to go to a local gym, where again they look after you because they do all your tests. They weigh you, blood pressure, they check all your medication, so they know what you can do and what you can't do. And as I say, it's subsidised and it keeps you moving. It keeps you both mentally and physically active, which is good, because it's very easy when there's something wrong with you to sit down and do nothing.
Make it an opportunity to try something new.
Now I just exercise at home, and I've joined the Pilates group, which my wife has always gone to. So I'm a different kind of person now. I get to
one-to-one,
once a week kind of thing, and come back feeling different. Yeah.
The very fact that you've had a stroke can raise your anxiety levels and lead to greater stress. Taking steps already mentioned will help to reduce your stress levels. Try and avoid situations that cause stress. If this is not possible, take some time out. Try and plan your day to ensure you get the rest you need.
You have to pace the day, and one will work in the morning, then stop before lunch for half an hour and recharge. And then in the evening, I certainly have a power snooze about 5 o'clock time, which I have a conscience about because that's preparing supper time. So that leaves out in the kitchen or getting supper ready. So I sometimes say, I'll do the vegetables before I go and have a snooze. So you have to pace life in that kind of way. And a day trip to London, for example, by train, again, you have to think about what you can commit yourself to over the day there and on the way back, actually. So, yes. And, the length of day, concentrating. You have a day, then go out to dinner party in the evening and just trying to keep pace with everybody who wants just to chatter and go on, and it's 10:30 at night. And that's when you begin to say, well, look, I think I've had enough of this, actually. So in those ways, yes, you have to learn to pace things.
Set yourself achievable goals and, above all, try to adopt a positive frame of mind.
You can't give up, you've got to keep fighting. You only come this way once. There's life after stroke.